to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really deep, a concept from our source material that you might think you know, but maybe not quite. It comes from Matthew 5:8, you know the one. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
A powerful verse, truly.
Absolutely. And our mission today is to unpack what pure in heart really means, according to this source, because, well, it offers a definition that might genuinely surprise you.
Yeah, it often challenges common assumptions.
So let's start there. When you hear pure in heart, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For me, and probably for many listening, it's like perfection.
Right. Flawlessness.
Exactly. Perfect actions, perfect words, perfect thoughts, just no mistakes.
That's the typical image, definitely. But this is where the source gets really interesting. It explicitly states that purity of heart is not perfection of conduct, nor of word, nor of thought.
Not perfection of conduct. Okay, so what is it then?
It defines it as perfection of intention as respects all of these. Intention.
Intention. Wow. Okay, that's a huge difference.
It really is. It shifts the focus dramatically from the outward, like the flawless execution, to the inner motive. The core drive, you could say.
So it's not about getting everything right on the outside every single time.
Not necessarily, no.
It's more about the desire.
Yeah.
The effort behind it.
Precisely. The desire and effort for that perfection in thought, word, and deed. It's about where your will is pointed, your fundamental intention, even if you stumble along the way.
Okay, I see. So your heart's aiming for it, truly trying.
It's the essence of it, yeah.
That feels, well, honestly, a bit more achievable, but it also leads to another point from the source, doesn't it? This really high standard.
Yeah, yes, the divine standard.
Right, from Matthew 5:48. Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. And the source is clear. It says God has set no lower standard than this absolute perfection.
Absolute perfection.
Which, let's be honest, sounds incredibly daunting, like completely impossible for us mere mortals.
It absolutely does sound overwhelming when you first hear it just like that.
Yeah.
But, and this is crucial, the source immediately follows up. It explains that God has provided for us grace, mercy, and peace through Christ.
Ah, okay. So there's help. It's not just, here's the standard, good luck.
Exactly. There's divine enablement involved. Grace. Unmerited favor, really, to help us strive towards it. But there is a condition mentioned.
Oh, that's a condition.
If we will walk in his footsteps. And it underlines that this purity of heart, this perfection of intention we were just talking about, is actually an essential step in the narrow way.
The narrow way, meaning that focused path the source talks about.
That seems to be the implication, yes. A path of focused living and purity of intention is key to even getting on that path and staying on it. It's foundational.
Okay, so connecting these ideas. If purity of heart is about this perfection of intention, and we need grace to even aim for that high standard, what does this mean practically for you, listening right now? Why is focusing on intention so vital?
Well, think about the promise attached, for they shall see God.
Right. See God. What does that mean if it's tied to intention?
That's the really fascinating part. If purity is about intention, then maybe seeing God isn't just about, a literal physical seeing.
More like understanding.
Exactly. A kind of profound spiritual clarity, a deeper connection, maybe seeing things as they truly are, perhaps seeing God's hand or purpose in things.
So aligning your intentions, your inner will, opens up a way to perceive things differently, to have a clearer spiritual vision.
That's what it suggests, that clouded motives, mixed intentions, they obscure that kind of sight. Purity of intention allows you to be truly open to seeing, to understanding, to experiencing that connection.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive really clarifies things. Purity of heart isn't about this impossible standard of external perfection.
No, it's not about flawless execution.
It's about the core, the fundamental direction of your will, your desires, the intention, and knowing there's grace to help you aim high.
It reframes the whole idea of spiritual growth.
It really does. It makes you think differently about how we judge ourselves, and maybe others too.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a final thought, maybe something for you to chew on.
Okay.
How might your daily life, your whole approach to personal growth, actually change if you started focusing more on the intention behind what you do, say, and think, rather than just judging the action itself?
Shifting from judging the outcome to examining the motive.
Yeah. What happens when you prioritize cultivating that sincere inner purpose? It's a powerful question to consider. It might just change everything.